Hello and welcome to Professor Kev Show. I got my friends Sahana and Amarthya from EquiCare with us. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
All right, so let's just jump in. Tell us why you started in.
You can go first.
Okay, awesome. So a little bit about EquiCare is that we are an or youth-led organization fighting against the cause that our slogan clearly portrays. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege, meaning we work with underprivileged people in local areas such as Trenton, providing basic healthcare materials as well as developing an app called CareBridge where they're able to connect with a doctor and for an annual checkup through telemedicine for free. And additionally, we also run certain blogs, research articles, and other fundraisers to raise awareness about health equity.
Okay, tell me the story behind this, because there's a story. Is you wanted to see this without a story.
Uh,
What's the story?
yeah, I think it's a kaleidoscopic view, and I can share my perspective on it, and then let Sahana continue. My side of this kaleidoscopic view is that it started with my mom. She went through cystic fibrosis, which is a malignant tumor, and we had to go through a process of surgeries in order to remove it. And throughout that process, as an immigrant in the country, obviously we came across a lot of questions like, hey, what is the process? Like, how does this work? And I kid you not, it took almost 6 months to 1 year to do that surgery. And it could have developed into something much, much more. And I'm so grateful that she's here with me today and we're able to afford the healthcare system in order to have that surgery done. But there was a lot of just bills and paperwork and just lots of things we didn't know we went through. And I'm like, okay, if I'm like this, what about the underprivileged people that might also go through the same thing, if not worse? And a few months later, I had my appendix removed. This is a very simple procedure, and many people do it in the US. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Well, and then a week later, my cousin in India died of the same surgery because they gave the wrong dose of anesthesia. And I'm telling you, she's an 11-year-old girl. And I'm like, I just had this surgery a week ago and I'm doing fine right now. So that made me think about the globe it has and that it's beyond just the US. And that's kind of my side of EquiCare. And I'd love to hear from Sahana.
Hmm.
For me, it was really just seeing what issues there were in like the United States because I took a trip to New York City a while ago and we were first obviously in the city. We were looking at all of like the the buildings and just walking on the very busy streets. And then as we started to dwindle outside of where everyone is located, so more into where the smaller houses are, we started to notice there were a lot more homeless people, a lot more people living in shelters that are extremely overcrowded if you research this stuff. And when I came home, I was looking into these specific shelters and just seeing what resources they provided to the people that came. And it was very, very minimal. There's an extremely long wait list with having people, especially seniors, waiting for years just for maybe a simple antibiotic for, like a fever or like the flu. So it's like if you look at all of these things, we were able to go to our local pharmacy and get like the flu vaccine every year, but these people don't have the privilege to do so. Especially being homeless, I feel like that's something that they deserve to have. So it's like when you think about health equity, it's just something that if we have it, they should have it as well.
That's nicely said. So, crystal ball time. What's the future hold? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Okay, I'll share a little bit about that. Our future goal, I would say, is right now we're based out in Trenton. So I know I mentioned about our global perspective a little earlier, and I think I'd love if we saw that in action through EquiCare. So starting at Trenton, expanding across the United States and across the nation and globally and internationally, that's kind of what we're going for. And so through our organization, we hope to deliver this telemedicine app, and hopefully it can grow from one yearly annual checkup to multiple doctors and more shots, flus, and really any type of access that we get, anyone can get. It should be able to create a platform like that. And we're also hoping to have a large amount of student ambassadors and a lot of youth involvement, because this is our future, and it's our responsibility, whether we like it or not. And honestly, it's time we see what's happening in the world. So we hope that EquiCare kind of sheds light on the issue through that as well.
You want to add anything to that? That was pretty impressive.
So I'm thinking about like having clinics and doctors like not volunteer really, but like take time out of their day to work for CareBridge as just like a couple hours a day. That can really make people doing that sort of thing. We can provide mental health care for people who really need it, physical health care, just really anything, even if it's like from dieting to something related to post-operative care after surgeries. So it's like we have to be able to do this in a way that's like we're giving out. So it's not like we're going to pay these doctors to work for us. So they're doing it out of their heart. I feel like that's something that we should really focus on.
So how can our listeners help? If they have questions, how can they reach out to you to learn more?
Oh, if people have questions.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. We have our website, which has our contact info through LinkedIn, email, Instagram, and these are the 3 accounts that we are socially open, and we're active on all of them. So tell us something, we'll reply immediately.
So what is the website address?
It's EquiCare.org.
Awesome.
EquiCareConnect.
EquiCareConnect.org. Awesome. I appreciate you both calling into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Of course.